On the vibrant, crystalline plains of Zynthara, a planet renowned for its tranquility and intellectual pursuits, the air buzzed with an unusual tension. The Zynthari, a species known for their towering intellects and peaceful dispositions, found themselves in a rare state of disquiet. Rumors had spread faster than a comet's tail about an intergalactic summit that would soon host a delegation from Earth, bringing with them an entity described in hushed tones as the apex predator. In the Grand Hall of the Zynthari Council, a gathering of the planet's most esteemed leaders convened. Their typically serene faces were etched with concern, their elongated, luminescent forms shifting uneasily as they discussed the impending arrival. "We must prepare for the worst," declared High Chancellor Zylor, his voice tinged with an uncharacteristic edge of panic. "The Earthlings have brought with them a creature capable of unimaginable destruction. We must devise a strategy to protect our people." The council erupted into a flurry of suggestions, each more outlandish than the last. Defensive barriers, emergency evacuation plans, even the possibility of negotiating with the creature itself were all fervently debated. The Zynthari, for all their wisdom, were comically unprepared for this perceived threat. Amidst the chaos, Zylor, a younger member of the council with a penchant for curiosity, listened with a mixture of amusement and intrigue. Unlike his peers, Zylor harbored a fascination for humans and their enigmatic ways. He had spent countless hours poring over transmissions from Earth, marveling at their creativity and resilience. "Perhaps we are misunderstanding the nature of this creature," Zylor ventured, his voice cutting through the din. "Humans are known for their peculiar relationships with other species. Could it be that this apex predator is not what we assume?" His suggestion was met with skepticism and dismissive waves. "Do not be naive," Zylor chided gently. "The humans are clever. They may have domesticated this beast, but it remains a predator at heart." Undeterred, Zylor resolved to investigate further. He spent the following days delving into the archives, seeking any information that might shed light on the mysterious creature. His persistence paid off when he stumbled upon a curious detail: the so-called apex predator was, in fact, a domesticated animal known as a cat. Armed with this revelation, Zylor returned to the council. "The creature is called a cat," he announced, unable to suppress a grin. "It is a companion to humans, not a threat. I believe we are overreacting." The council's reaction was predictably incredulous. "A clever ruse," one elder scoffed. "They have merely disguised the beast to lull us into complacency." Despite their dismissal, Zylor remained convinced of his findings. He couldn't help but chuckle at the absurdity of the situation: a planet of intellectuals quaking in fear over a creature that, by all accounts, enjoyed napping in sunbeams. As preparations for the summit continued, the tension among the Zynthari persisted. Yet Zylor's curiosity only deepened. He found himself eagerly anticipating the arrival of the human delegation, intrigued by the opportunity to witness firsthand the creature that had sparked such a frenzy. The day of the summit dawned bright and clear, the Zynthari's crystalline city gleaming under the twin suns. As the human's sleek spacecraft descended, a palpable hush fell over the gathered crowd. Zylor stood among them, his heart pounding with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. Would the humans confirm his suspicions, or would the council's fears prove justified? As the hatch of the spacecraft opened and the humans emerged, Zylor felt a thrill of anticipation. The stage was set for a meeting that promised to redefine the Zynthari's understanding of Earth's most enigmatic creatures and, perhaps, of humanity itself. As the summit commenced, the humans disembarked from their spacecraft, their demeanor a striking blend of confidence and casual ease. Leading the delegation was Samira, a diplomat whose presence exuded a warmth that seemed to melt the tension in the air. Her smile was infectious, and her eyes sparkled with the kind of mischief that promised unexpected adventures. The Zynthari, led by High Chancellor Zylor, stood in a formal line, their luminescent forms shimmering with a mix of apprehension and curiosity. Zylor, positioned near the front, watched with keen interest as Samira approached, her stride unhurried, as if she were greeting old friends rather than meeting an alien species for the first time. "Greetings," esteemed Zynthari, Samira began, her voice carrying a melodic lilt that seemed to resonate within the grand hall. "We come in peace and with great excitement for this historic meeting." The Zynthari responded with a series of harmonious notes, their traditional greeting. Zylor noticed how Samira's eyes twinkled as she listened, her expression one of genuine delight. It was a small moment, but it spoke volumes about her adaptability and openness to new experiences. As the formalities concluded, the atmosphere began to shift. Samira, with her innate ability to read a room, initiated light-hearted banter, her gestures animated and her laughter infectious. The Zynthari, initially stiff and formal, found themselves drawn into her rhythm, their serious nature giving way to cautious amusement. Zylor watched in awe as Samira navigated the cultural nuances with an ease that was both baffling and impressive. She seemed to thrive on the challenge, turning potential misunderstandings into opportunities for connection. Her ability to adapt, to find humor in the unfamiliar, was a revelation to the Zynthari, who were used to more rigid forms of interaction. The turning point came unexpectedly. During a break in the proceedings, a Zynthari server, distracted by the unusual proceedings, accidentally spilled a vibrant, iridescent drink onto Samira. The room froze, the Zynthari collectively holding their breath, anticipating a diplomatic incident. To their astonishment, Samira burst into laughter, her eyes dancing with amusement. "Well, that's one way to make an impression," she quipped, wiping the liquid from her attire with a casual grace. "Don't worry, I'm not marking territory, just a bit of clumsiness." The Zynthari exchanged bewildered glances, their understanding of human behavior challenged once again. Zylor, however, felt a surge of admiration for Samira's ability to diffuse tension with humor. It was a quality he had long admired in humans, and seeing it in action was nothing short of inspiring. As the summit continued, the initial tension gave way to a more relaxed atmosphere. The Zynthari, slowly warming to the humans, found themselves intrigued by their visitors' unpredictability and charm. Zylor, in particular, felt a growing connection to Samira, whose playful nature and adaptability resonated deeply with his own curiosity. The cultural clash that had seemed so daunting now appeared as an opportunity for growth and understanding. Zylor began to question his people's fears, seeing in Samira and her delegation the potential for a friendship that transcended their differences. As the day drew to a close, Zylor found himself reflecting on the events with a newfound perspective. The humans, with their peculiar ways and unexpected resilience, had managed to turn a potentially fraught encounter into a celebration of diversity and connection. The summit had only just begun, but Zylor felt certain that it would lead to a deeper understanding between their species. He was eager to learn more, to explore the possibilities that lay ahead, and to see how this newfound camaraderie would unfold. With the stage set for further interactions, Zylor felt a sense of anticipation for what was to come. The humans had already begun to change the way the Zynthari viewed the universe and themselves. And as he looked forward to the next day's events, Zylor couldn't help but feel that this was just the beginning of a transformative journey for both species. The next day dawned with a palpable sense of anticipation. The Zynthari, having spent the night pondering their unexpected encounter with the humans, were eager to learn more about the mysterious apex predator that had sparked such a frenzy. The humans, for their part, seemed equally enthusiastic, their demeanor as relaxed and good-humored as ever. In the Grand Hall, the Zynthari had prepared an elaborate demonstration of their defenses, a spectacle designed to showcase their readiness to face the feared creature. Intricate traps and barriers were displayed with great fanfare, each more complex than the last, a testament to the Zynthari's ingenuity and resourcefulness. The human delegation watched with interest, their expressions a mix of fascination and amusement. Samira, ever the diplomat, offered polite applause, her eyes twinkling with a hint of mischief. Zylor, standing beside her, couldn't help but chuckle at the spectacle, aware of the irony that lay at its heart. As the demonstration concluded, the moment everyone had been waiting for finally arrived. With a flourish, Samira stepped forward, a small, unassuming carrier in hand. The Zynthari leaned forward, their luminescent eyes wide with anticipation, as she carefully opened the carrier and revealed the so-called apex predator. Out stepped Munchkin, a sleek, elegant feline with a coat that shimmered in the Zintharan light. The cat blinked lazily at the gathered crowd, its demeanor one of supreme indifference to the commotion it had caused. The Zynthari gasped as one, their collective awe palpable. Munchkin, unfazed by the attention, sauntered forward with the regal air of one accustomed to admiration. The creature that had inspired such fear was, in fact, a creature of grace and poise, its movements fluid and unhurried. Zylor, captivated by the cat's presence, crouched down to get a closer look. To his amazement, Munchkin padded over to him, its curiosity piqued by the Zynthari's unusual appearance. Without hesitation, the cat leaped into Zylor's lap, curling up with a contented purr. The room fell silent, the Zynthari leaders staring in disbelief at the sight before them. The apex predator, feared and misunderstood, was now nestled comfortably in the lap of one of their own, its purring a soothing counterpoint to the tension that had preceded it. Zylor, overwhelmed by the unexpected turn of events, gently stroked Munchkin's fur, feeling a sense of joy and wonder at the creature's trust. Samira, watching the scene unfold, couldn't help but smile. Munchkin has a knack for choosing friends, she remarked, her tone light but sincere. The Zynthari leaders, confronted with the absurdity of their fears, began to question their assumptions. The creature they had deemed a threat was, in reality, a companion, its nature far removed from the fierce predator they had imagined. As the realization sank in, a ripple of laughter spread through the room, the tension dissolving into a sense of camaraderie and shared amusement. The Zynthari, their fears dispelled, began to see the situation for what it was: a misunderstanding born of cultural differences and exaggerated rumors. Zylor, still cradling Munchkin, felt a profound sense of connection to the humans and their enigmatic ways. The cat's presence had bridged a gap between their species, offering a glimpse into the potential for friendship and understanding. The moment was both heartwarming and humorous, a testament to the power of shared experiences to overcome even the deepest of divides. As the Zynthari leaders gathered around to admire Munchkin, their curiosity piqued. Zylor sensed a shift in their perspective. The fear that had once dominated their thoughts was replaced by a desire to learn, to understand the humans and their world more fully. It was a turning point, a moment that promised to redefine their relationship with Earth and its inhabitants. With Munchkin as their unlikely ambassador, the Zynthari found themselves embracing the possibilities that lay ahead. The creature they had once feared had, in its own way, opened the door to a future filled with potential and promise. As the summit continued, the Zynthari and humans began to explore the depths of their newfound connection, united by a shared sense of wonder and discovery. And as Zylor looked around at the smiling faces of his fellow Zynthari, he knew that this was only the beginning of a journey that would change them all for the better. With Munchkin now an unexpected ambassador for peace, the mood in the Grand Hall shifted from cautious anticipation to genuine curiosity and camaraderie. Inspired by the heartwarming encounter, the Zynthari leaders decided to embrace the spirit of cultural exchange, hoping to learn more about the humans and their peculiar ways. Samira, ever the diplomat, seized the opportunity to propose a series of lighthearted challenges designed to showcase human adaptability. "Why don't we share some of our traditions?" she suggested with an infectious grin. "Perhaps a cooking demonstration or storytelling session?" The Zynthari, intrigued by the idea, agreed with a mixture of eagerness and trepidation. They were unaccustomed to such informal exchanges but found themselves drawn to the prospect of learning through experience. Zylor, buoyed by his newfound role as a bridge between the species, took the lead. "Let's start with cooking," he proposed, his enthusiasm contagious. "I've always been curious about Earth cuisine." The humans, delighted by the interest, set about preparing a makeshift kitchen in the hall. Ingredients were laid out with care, each item a small mystery to the Zynthari, who watched with wide-eyed fascination. Samira, with her characteristic flair, began to explain the process, weaving in anecdotes and humor that kept her audience engaged. As the cooking demonstration unfolded, the Zynthari found themselves drawn into the activity, their initial skepticism giving way to genuine enjoyment. The humans' approach to cooking was both methodical and spontaneous, a blend of science and art that resonated with the Zynthari's own appreciation for creativity. The atmosphere was one of shared laughter and discovery, the humans' easygoing nature encouraging the Zynthari to explore new possibilities without fear of failure. Zylor, in particular, found himself thriving in this environment, his natural curiosity and humor making him an effective ambassador for his people. The highlight of the session came when a Zynthari elder, emboldened by the light-hearted atmosphere, attempted to replicate one of the human dishes. The result was a comical mishap, the ingredients reacting in unexpected ways that sent a plume of colorful smoke spiraling into the air. For a moment there was stunned silence, followed by a ripple of laughter that spread through the hall. The humans, far from being perturbed, applauded the elder's courage and ingenuity, their appreciation genuine and heartfelt. The Zynthari, unused to such open expressions of camaraderie, found themselves swept up in the moment, their laughter mingling with that of the humans. It was a powerful reminder of the joy that could be found in shared experiences, even when things didn't go according to plan. As the cooking session concluded, the Zynthari leaders gathered to reflect on the day's events. They had witnessed firsthand the humans' remarkable ability to adapt to new situations, their resilience and humor transforming potential challenges into opportunities for growth. The experience had opened their eyes to the value of adaptability, a quality they had previously overlooked in their pursuit of knowledge and order. The human's ability to thrive in unexpected circumstances, to find joy in the midst of chaos, was a lesson that resonated deeply with the Zynthari. Zylor, reflecting on the day's events, felt a sense of pride in his role as a connector between the two species. He had seen firsthand the power of humor and adaptability to bridge divides and foster understanding, and he was eager to explore the possibilities that lay ahead. As the summit continued, the Zynthari and humans engaged in further exchanges, each interaction deepening their understanding of one another. The initial tension had given way to a sense of camaraderie and mutual respect, the absurdity of their initial fears now a source of shared amusement. The cultural exchange had proven to be a turning point, solidifying the theme of adaptability and resilience that had emerged throughout the summit. The Zynthari, inspired by their interactions with the humans, began to embrace the idea of learning through experience, their curiosity and openness paving the way for a brighter future. With the summit drawing to a close, the stage was set for a new chapter in the relationship between Earth and Zynthara, one built on humor, understanding, and the shared joy of discovery. And as Zylor looked forward to the future, he knew that this was just the beginning of a journey that would enrich both species in ways they had never imagined. As the summit drew to its conclusion, the Grand Hall of Zynthara was filled with a sense of accomplishment and newfound understanding. The Zynthari, once wary and uncertain, now viewed their human guests with respect and camaraderie. The cultural exchange had not only dispelled fears but had also forged a bond that promised to endure. The Zynthari leaders gathered for a final meeting with Samira and her delegation, eager to express their gratitude. High Chancellor Zyphron, who had initially been the most apprehensive, spoke with a tone of warmth and sincerity. "We are grateful for this enlightening experience. Your adaptability and humor have taught us much about the strength found in diversity." Samira, ever the diplomat, responded with a gracious smile. "We are equally thankful for your openness and willingness to learn. Our time here has been truly enriching." Zylor, standing beside Samira, felt a deep sense of pride in the transformation he had witnessed. His own journey from skepticism to understanding mirrored that of his people, and he was eager to see what the future held for their newfound alliance. With the formalities concluded, Zylor stepped forward with a proposal that had been forming in his mind since the beginning of the summit. "I believe it's time to consider a new alliance between our species," he began, his voice steady with conviction. "One built not on fear, but on shared experiences and mutual respect." The room buzzed with agreement, the Zynthari leaders nodding in approval. The idea of an alliance based on humor and understanding resonated deeply, offering a path forward that celebrated their differences while embracing common goals. As a gesture of goodwill, Samira offered to leave Munchkin with the Zynthari as a symbol of their friendship. "Munchkin has been quite the ambassador," she said with a chuckle, glancing fondly at the cat, who was now lounging contentedly on a sunlit perch. "Perhaps he can continue to bridge our worlds." The Zynthari, delighted by the offer, accepted with enthusiasm. Munchkin had become a beloved figure during the summit, his presence a reminder of the absurdity of their initial fears and the joy of unexpected connections. In a moment of unexpected candor, the Zynthari leaders revealed their original plans to prepare for war against what they had believed to be a dangerous predator. The admission was met with understanding and gentle humor from the humans, who appreciated the honesty and the journey that had led them to this point of cooperation. The revelation served as a poignant reminder of the power of misconceptions and the importance of open dialogue. It underscored the theme of the summit that cooperation and understanding were the true keys to peace, far more effective than any defensive measures. As the summit concluded, the Zynthari and humans exchanged farewells, their interactions marked by genuine warmth and mutual respect. The experience had transformed both species, opening their eyes to the potential for growth and friendship that lay in embracing their differences. Zylor, reflecting on the events, felt a profound sense of fulfillment. The journey from fear to understanding had been challenging, but it had also been deeply rewarding. He had witnessed the power of humor and adaptability to bridge divides and foster connections, and he was eager to continue exploring the possibilities that lay ahead. As Munchkin settled into his new home on Zynthara, Zylor knew that the cat's presence would serve as a constant reminder of the summit's lessons. The once feared apex predator had become a symbol of unity and understanding, a testament to the absurdity of their initial misconceptions and the joy of overcoming them. With the summit behind them, the Zynthari and humans looked to the future with optimism and hope. Their newfound alliance promised to enrich both species, offering a path forward that celebrated their unique qualities and the strength found in diversity. As Zylor watched the human spacecraft depart, he felt a sense of excitement for the journey ahead. The summit had been just the beginning, a first step toward a future filled with potential and promise. And as he turned to rejoin his fellow Zynthari, he knew that this was a journey they would embark on together, united by a shared vision of friendship and understanding.